Welcome to Winged Wolf Podcast. This is the podcast where we're going to keep it real and raw. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty, talking about everything that everyone's so scared to say. We're going to bring them onto the table to interview them about religion, about politics, about eating organic, living off the grid, the masculine, the feminine, their needs, their wants, what is lacking in today's society, this dating world. How do we create that tribe mentality again to get our families back together, to protect our children? We are going to talk about everything. We're going to travel. We're going to have some fun on this show. So let's get to it. Wing and Will Podcast. Let's rock and roll. Your host, Elizabeth Mooney. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Wing and Will Podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Mooney. And I have a special guest here, Brandon.
Yo, thank you for having me, love.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Brandon, I was connected to through Electro Horse. So Electro Horse, you know him with the horse's head, and he's been in a lot of my videos with It's a Hoedown with Country Fusion. So we connected, and Electro Horse actually edits these videos. So he recommended Brandon. He's like, he's awesome. He should definitely be a guest. So we started talking, and there he is. I'm just started talking right now a bit too. So a lot of times I just meet the guests right there sometimes, and we just learn. So really cool guy.
That's how we vibe, yo.
And I'm from New York, so he just told me that he played percussion for Pete Rock, right?
Yeah. I've been rocking with Pete on and off for a minute, man. And I cut like a couple of albums with him. Go check that out. Peace Instrumentals 3. That's the last one that we did. Go get that, y'all. Pretty dope.
I grew up listening to Pete Rock. All my people from home, you know, we grew up on Mos Def, Pete Rock, Talib Kweli.
Oh, for sure.
How awesome is this, you know?
Yeah.
So we're going to start the episode out. I have a sponsor. So I've been looking for sponsors, and we have a sponsor. So that's why I'm wearing this shirt, which is pretty awesome. So Jerry's Way, and he makes shirts. So he printed out this one, Country Fusion, that's why I'm wearing it. And he's going to be in 3 episodes. I'll be wearing the apparel. So if you want shirts printed, he's awesome. Great pricing. Great job. He's been doing it forever. And his phone number is 615-498-1030. If you want shirts printed, hats, everything, he does it. Great price. Comes out awesome. He does it for all my bachelorette parties too. So Jerry's Way, check him out. Give him a call. Text him. And thank you, Jerry, for sponsoring this episode.
Jerry, thank you, bro.
So Brandon, where are you from?
I'm from Chicago, from the South Side to be exact. For everybody, 56 and normal,
I think Electro Horse is too, right?
I don't know if he's really from Chicago.
Yeah, I think he is.
That's dope. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
He might be.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think he is.
See, that's the kindred spirit thing right there.
Right.
That's how this music thing works.
Mm-hmm.
We all just kind of just tap in with each other. Next thing you know, you find out you're from the same neighborhood. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's the way it goes, though.
So you're from there, and when did you get into music?
Man, so my mom told me, she said that I started when I was 2.
2?
Yeah.
You're like me, I started dancing at 2.
That's usually how it goes.
Wow.
You just you see something and you just I just want to do that thing right there.
Yeah. So you were 2, you were a little bubaloo.
Yeah, I started when I was 2. Then ended up playing at my church. I became my church's drummer when I was between 12 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
And so I spent a lot of my time, a lot of my Friday nights were spent in choir rehearsal.
Okay.
But my Saturdays were spent playing football because that was my other thing too. Mm-hmm. All I knew was music and football. Mm-hmm. And the thing for me was just trying to vibe. And it sparked up an incredible interest in me. I didn't know that music could be a profession because I just thought it was something that you did that you enjoyed.
For fun, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know I was supposed to get paid from church. This was so funny. When I was 13, that's when I got my first bank account, right? Mm-hmm. Because a lady from the church came to me one Sunday. I had been playing for 2 months. She was like, look, are you going to come get these checks out of the office? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm 13. I don't know what you mean.
Right.
I've never had a check written to me before. I'm a kid. So I went down there and had 9 or 10 checks from the church.
That was good for a 13-year-old.
I promise. That was my first time getting a bank account because I had to go put the checks in the bank.
Oh, that's awesome.
So from there, I became the section leader in my high school. So I was the drum percussion section leader in high school, but I played football. So my section was playing in the stands while I was on the football field. And that's how it went. And I was a part of an orchestra for a while too as a kid. I played I played cello for a little bit.
Cool.
I love string arrangements and orchestration and stuff too.
So how is it in your blood? Is someone in your family?
So this is what's crazy. My immediate family, I have an auntie that sings in Chicago. Mm-hmm. She sings. Then my daughter's grandmother on her mom's side, she's a singer. She was actually an R&B singer in the 90s.
Okay.
Her name's Sweetie, as you know, but like
I think I've heard of her.
She's dope. Like she's amazing. And she's still dope. She's getting up in age, but she's amazing.
Wow.
She's still pretty and can sing her face off right now.
If I heard some of her songs, I'm sure I would know because I was big into R&B in the 90s.
Yeah, she was back in the day and she's still nice. And then what's funny is like my baby, she got the gene. So she's like, she just turned 5 like 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my baby. But she's playing drums already.
She is.
And she's singing. She already got like, she's getting called for gigs.
At 5 years old?
At 4. She was doing, she had sang 2 times. She's singing at churches and stuff now.
Wow.
It's crazy. And I'm like, and it wasn't forced on or nothing like that. Yeah. She just kind of gravitated to it. And one of the things that I've always done is I never force music on her, but sometimes when I play, if I'm able, like if I'm playing a local gig around town, I'll get my phone out and I'll FaceTime her and she'll get her sticks and she'll be at home.
Because it's more including.
Like, she's watching, I'm really playing a gig and she's looking at me and she's got her sticks.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's so cool watching her do it.
And that's really, really sweet. It's including her, even though you're not home, but in the, in the experience.
Absolutely.
I do that with Danica. She's 7. She's been coming with me since she's a baby. So sometimes when I'm teaching 2-step, I'll be like, Danica, come here. She's my partner. Mm-hmm. And she knows how to 2-step a little bit and just different dance.
That's beautiful.
She's seen it growing up.
I think that like that's something that needs to be expressed and instilled too, because kids today, they're not active. Mm-hmm. When we were babies, man, we were outside and it was like outside was the thing. Like, I remember being in Chicago, to go outside or not being able to go outside was like a problem. Like if you couldn't go outside, you would be looking out the window at your friends running.
And we grew up north. So like once it was nice out, you were like, we're outside.
Gone. Like these kids today are like phone, iPad. Yeah. I'm just looking at the screen. And to hear that a baby is actually being active and moving around and getting some exercise and dancing and having fun, interacting with people.
Yeah.
And that's something that I noticed with a lot of the younger musicians. There's no shade to them. I love the younger guys and they steal my heart too, because I was once that person to somebody else. But like, I think one of the things that's missing from our industry is the communal side of it now, because the younger guys, they're sitting at home watching YouTube videos and Instagram videos and things like that. And it's nothing wrong with that. And they're actually becoming great. They're sitting in a room by themselves becoming great. And most of the guys can play rings around.
Oh, I know what you mean. So they're more learning from videos rather than being interacting with others.
Yeah.
You are right though, because you could learn from that, which is good. But there's something special with like meeting someone who's a lot older that could give you some words of wisdom or experience. And you're not going to get that from watching a YouTube video.
Nah. And the thing that's crazy about that is a lot of my mentors that are musicians and that are prominent, some of the things that they talk about is always this. It's like, we barely talk about playing drums.
Yeah.
It's like, I got a friend of mine named Myron Howe, one of my big brothers in the music game. Bad dude, bad on drums, man, from Memphis. And he's one of the guys that's like, he was doing, I'm gonna tell you a funny story about him in a minute, but like that guy, he's a Renaissance man. First of all, he's good at everything. He's just one of those people that like, he's just great. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? One of the things about Myron is he can actually, I was watching him fix somebody's motorcycle one day and he was analyzing the drum solo that I played. I was playing it for him over the phone. He was like, yeah, man, he's welding a bike. Right. I'm watching him with the mask on and all this stuff.
Right.
And he's absolutely paying attention to every note that I was playing.
Huh.
And just went straight down the list on me with it. I talked to him about things like dealing with my daughter and handling situations with her mom and how do I navigate that. And I get better at music.
Because you become more in touch with your soul and heart, and therefore the music is speaking from there.
Absolutely. That's what it's really about. It's really about the communal side of things. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what I was alluding to a little while ago when I said about the whole iPhone, internet, YouTube generation, they're incredible players, incredible musicians, but a lot of times they don't know how to conversate.
Right.
And I'm like, I told someone this a long time ago. I got this revelation one day. I said, music is like having a conversation with people. If I'm playing in a band, it's like, okay, to make it make sense, we all have to speak the same language, first of all.
Yeah.
And just because, let's say, you told a funny story, I don't have to try to out funny you.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was there and I was a part of the story that you're telling, and we kind of reminiscing together and we're telling everybody what happened, one of the things that I can do is I can support your story. So if you say a funny joke and you're like, yeah, blah, 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 it was funny. And I can be like, oh yeah, it was crazy.
Right.
I could support the story.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I don't have to try to out funny you.
Yeah, you don't have to fight for the main character of
Yeah,
it.
that's weird, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that's one of the things that a lot of times happens with people. And the communal side of it for us was it was passed down to us.
Right.
And that's part of my upbringing in the gospel world was you got it from somebody else. Even though I was just watching as a kid and I probably had it naturally, I'm almost certain I did, but I watched somebody do it and I had to wait my turn. And when my turn came, I probably wasn't ready to do it, but I knew how to make it happen. I knew what was required of me because I sat behind somebody and I was an apprentice. And when that opportunity was presented to me, I was able to just walk in the door and I was molded I'm still being molded to this day. I'm 43 years old and I'm still being molded. And
yeah, we're always learning and growing. And I think what you're saying really goes everywhere, even in the dance world. People are learning how to two-step and do, different dances online. And like, it's good for an extent as if you want to like kind of like get a feel or an idea. But you really need to go into someone to correct you with proper form, the musicality and everything, and the words from the wisdom and knowledge and experience from actually learning from someone, in a physical form. So it's the same thing. And I think that's just the way things evolve. And it's always like for us, we're going to stay true to our roots and always be out there and, learn. I started writing songs too. The podcast has them. And it's from my experiences. Yeah. Yeah. It's really exciting. Just started releasing it.
So with the music thing for you, not to flip the podcast around because you asked me the question.
We can bounce.
So the thing about that is, are you writing your music from your life experiences, from your journey? Are those things that are influenced by stuff that happened in life and this didn't work out, that didn't work out? I'm happy right now, I'm sad. Is that kind of?
So it stemmed from this year was the hardest year of my life. And I didn't feel like talking about it because it was taking so much energy to deal with what I was dealing with. So I started journaling. So I never was looking to be a songwriter. I was a dancer. I wrote a book. I could write. But then the journals, someone here is like, Liz, these are songs. So I'm like, I don't know how to write a song. I know how to choreograph. I don't know how to format it. So then somehow I linked up with Ken. I've never met him in person, but through Facebook. He's a songwriter that was from here. And then they just kept on coming to me. Like I thought I would be done and then something else. So it was like I was evolving. And as I was evolving, I would have a spark. The title would come to me. Then the words would write in like 4 minutes. So then he would take my journaling and format it into a song. So I have 10 in 4 months.
That is so dope, and salute to you for even writing your thoughts down. That's something that I think that a lot of people miss out on because once again, that's our generation coming that's speaking. Because for us, a lot of us had to write journals in school.
Yeah.
When you got in the classroom, you take out your note, write your journal down. That was a thing for us. But then like we didn't realize even when it was as much of a task as it was when we were coming up in high school and stuff. We didn't realize that was a life skill that we can probably lean on at times of our own need.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm a songwriter as well. That's something else that I do. And it's going to sound crazy to some people. I'm just going to say it, but a lot of my songs come in my dreams.
That's cool.
But
what am I in?
So the thing about it is like, I'll hear the whole orchestration, everything. And I have to either get up and try to record it on my phone real quick and just sing it, or I have to get up and write it down. But most of the times I literally remember.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll just remember what it is. And it's like, some stuff is R&B, some stuff is gospel. And a lot of the things that I write are probably going to be based on where I am in life. And
Yeah.
if I'm going through something really stupid in my life, 9 times I'm going to get a song, and it's going to come like that.
Right.
And sometimes it's super prolific.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes it's just like a bunch of curse words that I feel at the moment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's an expression, whatever you're feeling.
That's just where I am right now.
Yeah.
But either way, I think that like that's another side of the generational thing. It's like we learn how to express ourselves through the art, through the creativity, through our passion, just like you with the. And from what I'm listening, just talking to you right now, and I don't even know you that well, but you're creative. So you're involved in the art in almost every form. You mess with the music, the dancing, everything, all the elements of it, and you're exploring all of it, and there's nothing wrong with it.
And I feel like it's God's gift. I really do. It wasn't like I watched videos like as I was getting ready to see you. I just let it play as I'm getting ready. And it was funny. Since a little girl, I always knew I always wanted to be a star, but I always felt it was in me. Like I had a purpose, I had something to do. So I always thought I wanted to be this big actress. So in New York, I was in a lot of movies and that's what I was doing. And then I was dancing and then I got into the fitness world. I didn't even mean to. And then I thought that was a temporary thing, which led me to the vision of country fusion. I started 10 years ago. And then, like I said, the music. So all these things that happen, I do feel like it's God speaking through me and I'm just the vessel.
That's what we all are with this.
Yes.
And that's something that I think.
That's why it's coming through your dreams.
Yeah, totally. And I always share this with people. I'm like, man, when people talk about the gift of music, this was given to me a few years ago. The gift of music, part of being able to play and sing and write and all that stuff, that is a gift. But the gift of music is the release, meaning that we have an outlet that sometimes comes from trauma, drama, happiness, love, sadness, all the emotions that we feel at that moment in our life, and we have the ability to give that to the world
to see if they resonate with it.
Yeah, and so and the healing part of it. So I shared this with someone. I was on a tour, and at that time, this was the biggest crowd that I played. I've done thousands, but I played 100,000 one night at a big festival. Played 100 in front of 100,000.
Who were you playing with?
I was out with Yola at that time, and so man, I told a guy, I said, man, like look out there in the crowd. Because sometimes people, when they see a light on you, they'll ask you, say, like, yo, man, what's the thing, bro? And it's like, a lot of the homies call me Uncle B. It's just it's like, Uncle B, like, what's the thing? And I thought about what he was asking me. And I looked out there at the crowd. I said, come here, man. So let me show you. I said, look out there. There's some people out there that came to this show tonight. Somebody did something that they wasn't supposed to do to somebody. Somebody hurt their wife. Somebody just got caught cheating. Somebody did something inappropriate. And we have a responsibility to heal them for the hour that we're playing, hour and a half, whatever how long the show was, to heal them of that. They're supposed to leave different. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen when they get in the car, when they get home. But while they're here,
they're trying to escape.
That's our job. Our job, okay, playing music is cool. Playing for artists, being on TV, that is really nice. But when you look at it like it's a responsibility to humanity, that's a different level of humility that you experience.
It's so funny talking to you. A lot of what you're saying, and I've interviewed many people, I've spoken to, it really relates so much in like my philosophy and like with dance. I would tell my instructors I've certified, when they walk in that door, they are trying to escape, whether they're dealing with health issues, marriage, work, whatever's going through. They're trying to come in for that hour and escape. You have your own personal you're going through, but do not bring that to the class. You are the leader of the class. You keep the energy high and positive. They are there to escape and give them a good time. When they leave, they're still going to go back to their problems, but now they have a little more endorphins and energy and a different feel to deal with them.
Yes. And I was telling in that same conversation I was having, I said, man, the thing that we always have to understand about this whole situation and healing is that our feel for what we do, meaning, and when we talk about feel, that's something that's I watch ESPN just like most guys do, right? And one of the guys on there, we were watching it was like NFL highlights. And he said something that just blessed me. He said, you can go to college, you can have the best coaches, you can have the best teachers and the best trainers and everything, but you can't teach feel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing in regards to what we do for a living and creativity and music and art.
Yeah.
I can't teach feel. I can't teach you how to feel. Feel is in regards to your outlet of what's inside of you, meaning like, and for me, mine came from my own issues, my own trauma, my own stuff that I saw in Chicago that I probably shouldn't have saw as a kid.
Right.
You know, crackheads, and, you know what I'm saying? People stealing from the train. And that was my childhood.
Yeah.
And so I knew as a kid that I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to do that.
Right.
But I love them through it.
Right.
Those are some people that love me right now to this day are probably some of the worst of the worst.
Right.
If you talk to this person, you say, man, I've been smoking crack for 45 years. The most beautiful human I've met in my life.
Right.
The most real dude I've ever met in my life is probably a crackhead.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crazy to say. And I hate even that that's a thing.
Well, it's just, they're still human beings. It's just they say like breaking the generational curses.
Right.
Right. So that person just going forward until they're enlightened or something happens where they awake.
And the thing for them was a lot of them were running from something, or they were just trying to find some kind of pleasure in something.
Or numb.
They're trying to numb some pain, or they were just saying like, I think this is going to make me feel better or make me feel good for a moment.
Right.
And that turns into a lifetime of destruction. And the beautiful thing about art, and that's one of the things that I wish that a lot of the schools would kind of rethink and reinvest into, is that you're giving the kids another choice and another way out. Mm-hmm. You're giving them a way out of the streets. It kept me out of trouble. I didn't realize it at the time because I like I said, when I come outside, I didn't know. Rich people were the homies on the block who had rims on their cars.
Right.
They was rich to me.
Yeah.
So that was and I'm like, yeah, I would definitely like a Caprice with some rims.
Right.
On it, know? But the thing about it is, I didn't realize that the music was keeping me away from that even back then.
Yeah.
As a baby, as a kid, as a 13-year-old.
And also you had like a purpose within you. And I think that helps. I think sometimes when people end up like that, they don't know their purpose. So that's actually some good advice for people that are watching. Like, so the music and playing football helped you stay in the course. Would you say was like your love and your passion for it, and that's what kind of like just kept you going?
Well, it was a part of it, definitely. It's just that like I said, even playing as a kid, like I'll give you an example. For me, I didn't have my first drum set until I was 18. I brought my first drum set here in Nashville when I came to TSU.
So, okay, what brought you to Nashville?
Tennessee State University.
You went as a freshman?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Came and graduated and everything. Business administration, concentration management.
Good for you. Good for you. So you left Chicago, came here to go to college.
Yeah.
Then you ended up staying.
After I graduated. But the thing that I was saying is that like I didn't buy my first drum set until I was here. But that didn't excuse me from practicing at home. My first drum set that I made it myself. I took a dictionary that I still use back in the day. I used this all the way through high school. I ripped the cover off the front of it, and it made this like kind of crispy sound, and that was my snare drum. Then I took a pillow, two of my pillows, and I set them up like they were toms. And then I had a hanger. That was my cymbal. I practiced on that every day.
Good for you. That's pretty awesome.
But at the same time,
do you have pictures of that?
No, that wasn't a thing back then. We didn't have a camera, we lived in the hood. But I mean, like, and I'm saying that to say, I practiced. I didn't even care about not having a drum set.
No,
Like
because
I didn't. It was like for me that was my drums. Like I went home and I like when I had to learn my songs for church, I would put my headphones on with my tape player. I'll play the tape, and I'm sitting there playing along with the dictionary and the pillows, and that was my practice time.
awesome.
And I did that for years,
Awesome.
all the way through high school almost. And so
Because you still got like that rhythm
yeah,
of what your body needed to do. Because I always say the drummers in the band, they're usually the best dancers.
that's what's funny is I cannot dance.
But I'm sure if I taught you
I
two-step, you could.
I
Because
I could
usually you
probably,
guys have the rhythm.
yeah. Like for me, like
Yeah.
I got a pocket. Like that's the thing. Like I can keep, you know, if it's a 2 and 4 thing, I can kind of groove with you.
Right.
I can make it feel good. You know,
Yeah.
I can I can put it right there. But it's like, you know, like as far as like just doing straight moves, I'm like, yeah, you got it. And plus, I'm a dude. Like when I used to go out back in the day, when we would go out and hang out at the club. It's like I was gonna do is like I'm just gonna stand behind you and get twerked on.
Right.
I'm like, hey,
You do the train.
yeah. I'm like, I'll get back there and stand behind you, but I'm like, I ain't gonna be out there spinning you around. And I seen people do it. And salute, bro. Salute, sis. But like, that ain't never been my thing. Like I just stand there and like, yeah, well, she think, man. That was me.
So now, out of college, what was your first big gig?
So what's crazy? My first big gig was in college. So shout out to my boy Rob Kitchen. I love you, little bro. That's my brother, man. Rob is my bro for life. Man, I think Rob is a year younger than me. And he was doing way more than us back in the day, you know. I was going into my first senior year at TSU. Okay, I'm one of them, y'all. I'm sorry. All right. It took me a minute to get out of there. I got my life together and I graduated. Fine. All right, you got it. But so my first senior year at TSU, we went out with the Drifters, the old school. Under the boardwalk, down by the sun. I was out with them for 3 months.
Cool.
I went out with May in May. Something like, I think we went out in May when we got out of school. Went out in May and came back in like August. And so that was my first big gig. I did a tour with them, and that tour right there, like we went. I don't know how many states we did, but it was like quite a few. And I got to see pretty much the whole country.
That's awesome.
In that summer, we were on tour buses, doing the bus dates and stuff. And man, so that gig right there was the one that let me know that it's possible. And I was like, me and my boy had an apartment. I used to come home. I came home maybe like once or twice a month. At that time, we had our little apartment, and I paid my half of the rent. That's when rent was $500 a month.
Right.
You know, it's
like 3,000.
Yeah.
25 now.
So I paid my half of the rent when I would come home, and that was my first big gig. What's funny about that gig was this. It's one story I would say, but I can't say it on camera. But it's funny. It's really bad. All I'm gonna say is, musicians, please make sure that when you go out on the road with people, that the business is in order. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Make sure the business is in order. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Take care of your business. Get your money. Get paid. Make sure you get paid. And sometimes opportunities will come when you're ready for them. And sometimes being ready for them goes beyond singing and playing music. Sometimes that means that being financially stable.
Yeah.
Learning to save your money. Learning to say,
That's great advice.
Yeah, learn.
Because I see that here, just from me being here for 4 years. I see a lot of talented musicians, and what they do is they, at one time, had like, you know, they like something 9 to 5 construction, something like that, and they were doing music on the side. Well, then they come here and they're like, they just want to do music. So they get rid of everything, just do music. And then they get frustrated, they get angry, they start drinking, and they end up going back home to where they're from because they didn't find the balance. So you may have to work somewhere, make some money to have that financial stability to then really pursue and just find balance.
I share this with people all the time. I'm like, man, your job, if you have a 9 to 5 job, first of all, I'm never shunning someone for saying they have a job.
Right.
You tell me you got a job, that means you're trying to take care of yourself, trying to take care of your family.
Yeah, responsibility.
That's called being a responsible human. And your job is your provision. Provision means that it's there to support your vision, the thing that you're trying to do.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Provision. I like that. That's so true. I've been saying that.
When they say it's my provision, that's what that means. Provision. Yeah. You know, the prefix of that word is pro. which means that it's a positive manner. It's a positive connotation.
Yeah.
So if you have a job, or if you have to have a job or keep a job or go get a job, do it. Don't be hungry. Don't be homeless if you don't have to.
Right.
That's called being stupid.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I'm never opposed to that. And most people, that's what I was known for back in the day. Like, most people knew me for, like, I worked and didn't care. Like,
I was the same way. Like, I told you, I wanted to be an actress, and then I got into the fitness world. So I was teaching like 25 classes a week. So I was looking at, like, I love dancing. I'm getting a workout. I'm getting paid. It's supporting my acting classes, my hopping on the subway, the trains. And then I was dancing in the casinos. Like, my hustle was on, but I was doing things. I'm not going to say you're always going to enjoy what you're doing to have the provision, but try to find something that you could, deal with, I guess.
Absolutely. It's just, for me, and the beautiful thing about it nowadays, it's a little different because you got all these mobile services that you can do, and I'm not going to name them online, but y'all know what I'm talking about when I say that. So it's no excuse at this point. If you have a car, if you got a phone, you can make some money.
Right. Yeah.
And so when it comes to it, and this is just to encourage who's ever watching it, man, like, you're not less of a musician or less of a creative because you say, I got to go to work.
Right.
I mean, I was doing, when I had my corporate job, I worked corporate. I was a data analyst for 7 years.
Wow.
Right. I did math problems all day long. I enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
But even when I was doing that, I used to use my PTO to go on the road. So when I was on the road making a couple dollars to go play a show for somebody, I could fly out, play a show, come back home and go to work. And I was still getting paid for my job while I was gone.
Right.
So that's the beautiful thing about it. And I still had my health insurance and everything else.
Yeah.
And that's something else.
I feel like it's responsibility more than anything.
Yeah.
And it shows the structure of it. And that also will help when that time does come where you're making money. You will have that responsibility and that structure to then, like you said, how you started, like, with saving and being financially stable.
Yeah, man. Like, when it comes to that, I think that a lot of musicians they rely on, I'm not going to say rely, they get caught up with the wrong thing. And especially nowadays with the social media and all that stuff, man, I'm not that guy, even though I do post and I have to do it now.
Right.
But the thing about it is, I don't let that be the reason that I'm doing this. Like, I got a baby. My daughter's 5 years old. She has to be taken care of, and she doesn't care about a gig.
Right.
She cares about what she needs.
Yeah.
She has to have food. She has to have a roof. I got to help her and her mom when I can. I gotta chip in.
Yeah.
And so that's called being responsible human. I got to take care of myself. I have to have car insurance. I got to have health insurance.
Right.
Even though that's the other side of it for y'all that's talking about 9-to-5s and stuff. Okay, walk away from your 9-to-5 and find that health insurance on your own.
Right.
Because that's what you're going to have to do.
But this is great advice overall, just in general, everything we've touched on. Like, usually at the end, I would say, do you have any advice? But you have been really giving it this whole show, which is wonderful. So to tie everything in, so now you're in Nashville. The first big group you traveled with is the Drifters.
Yeah.
And where are you today? Are you doing this full time now?
Yeah, I've been full time. I've been full time since 2014.
Okay, so you see that just the consistency and the balance, and then the path will lead to now this is what you're doing. And you said you played with Lady A.
Yeah, I did. It's funny. My first gig with no rehearsal. This is what's crazy. I'm gonna get to something in a minute for y'all. I came in to do the CMA Fest with them, and they were like, "Yo, you're coming in to play on the TV stuff with us." So it was like when you do I think they were like co-headlining at the fest that year.
How did you connect to it?
That was it all came from a gig that I was doing with an Afrobeat band.
Okay.
Shout out to my little bros, man. Cricket Rhythm Band #1. Y'all got to check out our stuff. It's crazy.
Cool.
I ended up doing maybe like 4 big gigs from that one band situation. And it became like, it just all just came straight down.
Wow.
From that situation right there. My number was passed on to their MD at the time. And he hit me up. It's like, yo, man, they told me you the guy for the job. Come through, no rehearsal. You coming in, and the way he said it was, you coming in hot. So be ready. All right, I see you. See you Sunday, man. I'm like, all right, send me the music. I learned it. I came in with no rehearsal, and it was live. It wasn't live on TV, but it was live for TV.
Yeah.
So, man, in front of 70,000 people.
Wow.
And at Nissan Stadium, I played, and it was like, yo, salute to you, bro. Like, and at the end of that gig, some things transpired, but it came full circle. And now I'm working with like Charles Kelly. You know, that's one of my dogs, man. I love Charles. That's the homie. And y'all got to check out his new project. I think it's Songs for a New Moon. He's got it's an 80s record. Like, it's just an 80s pop rockish record, and it is banging. And we're doing like a promo run with it right now. So we'll be in South Dakota tomorrow. Yeah, we fly out in the morning. I forgot I'm like, yeah, that's tomorrow. I got to go do laundry.
What, for Sturgis?
No, this is for
Is this Sturgis?
I don't know what's going on. It's some kind of golf thing I heard we doing. I don't know. I mean, yeah, we're going out to play in South Dakota tomorrow. So check that out, man. That's one of my projects that I'm working with right now. That's pretty dope. And I'm still, hanging with the hip hop stuff,
Yeah.
And that's one of those things to me that's like, which brings me to my next point, man. Be versatile and be open to the music, and be prepared, y'all. I can't stress this enough.
And I'm ready to navigate.
Yes, ready to pivot, ready to navigate, ready to move in different circles. Be yourself. But if this person doesn't drink, okay, we don't drink. If they don't smoke weed, okay, we don't smoke weed. At least not in their presence or whatever it is. Be respectful of who you're dealing with, and you can still be yourself. If they don't curse, don't curse.
Right.
You can definitely not curse. You can just not do it, And those situations right there, like, if you can manage those things, you can manage the music. Because, like, case in point, sometimes you'll get a random phone call, and I can say this too, man. And this is a story I love sharing this story with people. A lot of my situations that I've been in were almost willed into my world. A big gig that I did back in the day, I used to listen to this guy, Alexander O'Neal. He's still one of my favorite artists of all time. He came out of Minneapolis.
Okay.
He's got like one of my favorite songs is If You Were With Me. It's like that's his tone. It's like, oh yeah. It's so dope though. Like,
yeah.
But like, even as a kid, he was one of my favorite artists. And so when I was working my 9 to 5, I would listen to his Pandora station pretty much every day when I was doing my work. And then I got a phone call. Well, before the phone call, I was watching it's a show called Unsung. I was watching his Unsung one day, and I was like, man, he's still doing this thing. He still sounds amazing. And I got the call to play his gig the next day.
With him?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And you've been listening to him forever. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then, this is another funny thing. This was recent. So this situation I'm about to tell you was recent. Y'all familiar with the Tiny Desk?
The what?
Tiny Desk concerts. Are you familiar with that?
No.
You got to check them out. It's a concert series that they do in an office building.
Oh, no, I don't know.
And it's like Usher just did one, A-Marie, everybody does it. You know, it's really, really cool. Like I'm when we get done talking, I'm gonna show you some stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they do a contest every year for pretty much indie artists to be a part of the show. They can go on and be a show, and they get like a 10-city tour as a part of the winning the competition. So you get featured on the show, and then you do a tour. Contest happened this year. This was my first time being a part of the contest. I'd never done it with anybody because I really didn't care like that. But like, I did the contest this year. I played drums and percussion with my boy Ali Gabriel, man. Shout out to Ali. I love you, bro. Did the contest with Ali. I found out.
Wait, Ali?
Yeah.
Ali
Gabriel.
Is he from Pennsylvania?
Ali's from, I don't know. He's from Louisiana originally, but he lived in LA for a minute.
Okay. Yeah. I know Ali. Drums.
No, Ali, he's a singer.
Okay.
Yeah, this dude's a country singer.
I don't know many Ali.
There's only a few of them out here. Yeah. But so we did the Tiny Desk contest this year. And him and my boys, back to Rod Kitchen, they co-wrote this tune called Ric Flair. It's crazy. It's a funny song. But
Ric Flair.
Yeah, the name of the tune is called Ric Flair. Yeah, it's so cold, man. But we ended up doing a contest, and I think we came in we were one of the finalists for the contest. For the contest, of 7,500 people, right?
Wow.
And what was crazy about this was I didn't think nothing else about it. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do the contest. That's what's up, man. Well, come to find out that we were in the top 2-3 people, the night before this I was in rehearsal with Charles Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
The night before the rehearsal, I found out that a young lady out of California won the contest, and I was I was kind of bummed out about it, right? But I moved on in my life. I'm like, okay, cool, we lost. We were rehearsing the next day with Charles Kelly. Charles says, "Hey, Brandon, man, one day we're gonna mess around and do Tiny Desk. I don't know if it's gonna be with me or Lady A or one of us, man, but when we do this song right here, I want you to play some bottles and stuff." I was like, yeah, that'd be dope, man. Now, mind you, I'm kind of putting 2 and 2 together as we're talking. I'm like, but I'm just playing it cool because he didn't know that we were in the contest and stuff.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, man, that'd be dope, man. About an hour later, we're rehearsing. This is one of those 8-9 hour rehearsals that we do. About an hour later, I looked at my phone and it was my bro, Tyrone Jackson. He's a guitarist and a music director, phenomenal musician, producer, one of my big brothers. And I'm like, if Ty calls my phone, I probably got to pick up. It's just one of those things that you got to answer some phone calls. So I'm in rehearsal and I'm playing on one hand. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm in rehearsal. I'm going to call you as soon as we take lunch, dog. He said, hey, man, call me back. I got an opportunity, man. So we take lunch. I call Tyrone back. And he's like, yo, man, what you got up in June? This was recent. I was like, man, I had a date coming up, a CMA Fest date with my boy Ali Gabriel, same guy. And I was like, man, I got a CMA show that I probably came back out on, man. He was like, well, we're doing Tiny Desk with CC Winans. And I was like, man, he said, and we thought about you. I think it'd be dope that you come out with us and do this. And I was like, well, let me see if I can work some stuff out. I got the gig with Ali taken care of. Called him back, told him I could do the gig. And I did Tiny Desk with CC Winans.
So you ended up getting it.
End up doing, and CC is gospel royalty.
Wow.
She is. She's like that chick. And it's amazing.
But how it went full circle.
It's just
you didn't win it, but then you got the phone call right away.
Yeah.
He ends up there
performing. And it happened just like that. But it's not the gig itself that's the badge of honor. That Tiny Desk, that's dope. And I'm grateful for every opportunity that comes my way. But to anybody watching, the real vibe of this is to be prepared for it. You can't get ready for something when it gets to you. You can't get ready to do an interview when it's time to go to the interview.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be thinking about those things beforehand. So for me, it's simple stuff like being on time, being over-prepared, overstanding the music, knowing everybody's part. I know what you're supposed to be playing. You know what I'm supposed to be playing. And using my memory to my advantage, writing notes. I'll take notes of some music and stuff like that if it's something that's being said and I'm listening. And the other thing too is if an artist is speaking to me or talking to me, even when they're cracking a joke, to me, it's not a joke. I'm taking it serious. And I'm like, okay, if they're being trivial right now, I'm saying, okay, they don't like that. And those things right there are some of the things that separate you, where your talent.
It's professionalism.
Yeah. And your talent and everything at this point in my life, everybody is good at what they do.
Yeah.
Everybody can play.
A lot of people good in this city.
Everybody can play and everybody can sing, but everybody don't have those things that I was just talking about.
Right.
Okay, they're drinking and smoking weed and all that stuff. And I'm not knocking nobody for what they do. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't manage it, if you can't manage your time, if we're supposed to be somewhere at 3:00 and you're coming in at 3:06, and in this world, somebody's watching you and they're gonna be like, oh, okay, cool. He's late.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time I did a gig, and this is God knows one of my big brothers in the music game, and I gotta call his name, Neoshi Jackson. That's my dog to this day, man. Man, Neoshi is so hard on you. He's so hard on me. But he taught me some of my biggest lessons in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, that's who called me for the Alexander O'Neal gig.
Okay.
Neoshi. And I wasn't ready to be doing that stuff like that. I didn't think I could play and be doing that. But he just wanted to put me on that situation. Man, Neoshi told me something a long time ago. He said, we were doing some, like, I think it was the governor's inauguration or something like that in Tennessee. And he was like, yo, man, I wasn't late. This is what made it so bad. I wasn't even late. I got there like an hour early and I was outside trying to find parking and stuff like that. The band was preparing the sound check. I come dragging my stuff in while they're preparing the sound check. He pulled me to the side and whispered in my ear. He said, let me tell you something, dog. Don't you ever do this again. He said, don't you ever show up to my gig late again. I was early. But to him, to a professional, that's late. I was late to a pro. Pros don't play that.
Right.
And that's one of the things I learned back then. It's like, yo, to be time conscious, to be respectful to that and be respectful of people. And one of the things about that is I didn't know how far that was going to take me in my life. And even at that moment, it hurt when he told me that because my feelings was hurt.
Right.
Because I was giving my best, but my best wasn't good enough at that time.
Right.
And the thing about it is when you take those principles right there and apply them to your life outside of the music.
Yeah, just everyday life with everything.
It literally will transcend through your music. It'll come out, it'll spew out of you. And now I don't understand it. When I'm around it, I don't understand when you don't know. I don't understand when you're not together, when it's not prepared.
Because you end up embodying your principles.
Absolutely.
So you have your talent, you have your passion, but then all of a sudden you now are working with many different people. So you learn respect for others, yourself, the professionalism, the money, time management, balance. So just starts applying to everything. So I think that's great. So to wrap this up, Brandon, where can they check you out and follow you?
Yo, follow me on social media. Well, excuse me, IG. My IG is at Uncle Nunu, at Uncle NEW number 2, at Uncle Nunu 2 on IG, and on Facebook I'm Brandon Newsome. That's NEWSOME. Hit me up, man. If you want to stay in touch, let's connect. Let's do some music. Let's talk music, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I love y'all. Oh, by the way, shout out to me, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to talk about that.
The Melanin Company. We outside, y'all. Man, this is my company. I started this brand in 2015. And man, it's been doing well. Y'all can check that out too at the Melanin.
So what
Company.
is it?
Well, this is melanin. The melanin, it's in our skin, it's in our DNA, it's in our hair, our eyes. And it actually was birthed through me because of the social climate. And I was like, man, what is it about us, meaning my people, Black people, that some love to hate the most? And it was like, oh, you love the way I play, you love the way I sing, you love my creativity, my wit, my charisma, but you hate the way I look. You know, and I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put it on a shirt and I'm just gonna wear my melanin in front of everybody.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
But believe it or not, man, when I started,
I like the design.
Thank you so much, man. Shout out to my boy Classic, Darnell Levine, man. Love you, bro. He's the one that did the graphic design for me.
Well, you could always go to Jerry for more shirts.
And Jerry, and hit up Jerry too if you need some shirts printed out, because I'm about to hit him up myself too. Thank you, Jerry. We about to do some work, bro.
All right. So it was such a pleasure. Great role, great stories. And the whole entire interview in this podcast was about learning and lessons and advice, and very inspiring. It was such a pleasure to have you, Brandon.
Man, it was a pleasure to be here. Thank you for considering me. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Much love to y'all. Man, stay encouraged. Stay blessed, y'all. It's going to be okay. Whatever it is y'all got going on, it's going to be all right. I don't know who that was for, but I hear you out in my spirit, man. It's going to be all right, man. Stay encouraged. Be patient with yourselves. Be patient with each other. Be patient with people. Learn your lessons, but apply it. You know, wisdom is applied knowledge, you know? Yeah. So be wise in your decision making and it'll change your life, you know?
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, guys, Wing and Wolf Podcast, your host, Elizabeth Mooney.
change the world. Baby, if I could change.
Wing and Wolf Podcast, your host, Elizabeth Mooney. Wing and Wolf. Wing and Wolf Podcast, your host, Elizabeth Mooney. Wing and Wolf.